Certainly. Here's a 500-word story centered around the topic. 6 fishes that older adults should never eat at all costs. Title: The Fish on the Plate That Nearly Took Him Away. Harold Jenkins, age 76, loved seafood. Twice a week, like clockwork, he and his wife Eleanor would stroll down to the local market and pick out their favorites: tuna steaks, swordfish, and sometimes a bit of imported tilefish when it was in stock. He always said it made him feel young again. But after one unsettling doctor's visit, that joy nearly turned into tragedy. It started with fatigue. Then came confusion, shaky hands, and a strange metallic taste in his mouth. His family thought it was just aging. But a blood test revealed something far more dangerous: mercury poisoning. The culprit? The very fish he loved. Harold's doctor explained that certain fish are especially dangerous for older adults due to their high mercury content, potential for bacterial contamination, or interactions with common medications. As people age, the body's ability to filter toxins through the liver and kidneys slows down, meaning contaminants in fish can build up faster and have more severe effects. Harold was shocked. He'd always thought of fish as heart healthy. And it can be, but not all fish are created equal. Here are the 6 types of fish that his doctor warned he should never eat again. Number 1, king mackerel. Though tasty, this fish is extremely high in mercury. In older adults, mercury exposure can affect memory, motor function, and balance. Number 2, tilefish, especially from the Gulf of Mexico. Among the worst offenders, tilefish can contain mercury levels so high they're on multiple international do not eat lists. Number 3, shark. It's not common in every grocery store, but adventurous eaters may encounter it on a menu. Shark meat is loaded with toxins, including mercury and PCBs, and should be avoided at all costs by seniors. Number 4, swordfish. Another high mercury fish that poses neurological risks, particularly for older adults already experiencing cognitive decline. Number 5, albacore tuna, white tuna. While it's a pantry staple, canned white tuna has 3 times more mercury than light tuna. Regular consumption is risky for aging bodies. Number 6, raw shellfish, like oysters or clams. As we age, our immune systems weaken. Raw shellfish can carry bacteria like Vibrio vulnificus, which may be harmless to the young but deadly to seniors. After switching to safer, low-mercury options like salmon, sardines, and trout, well, Harold's symptoms gradually improved. His energy returned, his thinking cleared. He and Eleanor still visited the market, but now they went armed with a list and a mission: to enjoy seafood without sacrificing health. Harold's story became a cautionary tale at the senior center. He began sharing his experience during community health talks, emphasizing that what's on your plate matters more as you age. "I thought I was eating healthy," he'd say, "but I had to learn that not all fish are friendly after 65. For older adults, avoiding these 6 dangerous fish isn't about giving up favorites. It's about staying sharp, strong, and present for every moment that matters. Would you like this story turned into a voiceover sample or shortened into a version for narration? Of course. Here's a 500-word continuation of the story, expanding on Harold's recovery, the community's reaction, and helpful tips for seniors navigating seafood choices. After Harold's mercury levels returned to normal, his doctor praised him for making smart dietary changes. But Harold couldn't stop thinking about how close he came to serious harm, and how many others might be making the same mistake without even knowing it. The thought that his beloved seafood habit could have triggered permanent neurological damage shook him deeply. That realization sparked a new mission: to educate others. Eleanor encouraged him to share his experience at their local community center's weekly wellness group. Standing in front of a room filled with older adults, Harold held up a printed list of the 6 fishes to avoid after 65. He explained how mercury isn't just a buzzword, it's a neurotoxin that can affect memory, coordination, and even heart health. As he spoke, heads nodded around the room. Some people looked surprised, others concerned. One woman admitted that she ate tuna salad every day. "I had no idea white tuna was different from light," she said, scribbling notes furiously. To make the message clearer, Harold created a 2-column handout. On the left, the dangerous fish to avoid. On the right, healthier alternatives. For every fish he'd had to cut out, there was a safer swap. Instead of swordfish, try wild-caught salmon, packed with omega-3s and low in mercury. Swap king mackerel for Atlantic mackerel, which is safe and heart-friendly. Replace albacore tuna with skipjack or light canned tuna and eat it sparingly. He also learned from a local dietitian that preparation matters. Grilling or baking fish instead of frying helps preserve nutrients while minimizing unhealthy fats. And for those with blood pressure or heart concerns, seasoning with lemon and herbs instead of salty marinades can make a big difference. Soon, Harold became something of a seafood ambassador for older adults in his community. He even partnered with a local supermarket to create senior-friendly seafood guides, labeling safe fish and distributing pamphlets near the seafood counter. The store manager, surprised by the demand, began stocking more of the safer fish options, rainbow trout and sardines. Harold's outreach reached beyond his town. His story was featured in a regional health magazine under the headline, "The Fish That Almost Fooled Me," and the response was enormous. Letters poured in from seniors across the state, many thanking him for sharing what their doctors never told them. Most importantly, Harold felt more connected and empowered. The food that once endangered his health had now become a catalyst for change. He and Eleanor continued their market visits, but now they were better informed, confident in their choices, and proud to help others navigate a path to safer eating. In Harold's words, growing older doesn't mean giving up what you love. It just means getting smarter about how you enjoy it. And for him, that wisdom was well worth the wake-up call. Would you like this full story turned into a summarized version for audio narration or turned into a voiceover preview? Certainly. Here's a 200-word concluding paragraph to wrap up the story with a final insight and takeaway. Today, Harold continues to be a trusted voice in his community, not just for his seafood knowledge, but for his proactive attitude toward aging well. His experience taught him that many health risks faced by older adults aren't dramatic or sudden. They're silent, slow building, and often hidden in everyday habits, like what's on your dinner plate. He now encourages his peers to ask more questions, read food labels, and bring dietary concerns to their doctors. "We don't need to fear aging," he often says. "We just need to outsmart it." His once humble health scare has grown into a small but powerful movement among seniors in his area. Local support groups now hold nutrition for longevity workshops where Harold often speaks. Meanwhile, Eleanor beams with pride, calling him her silver-haired seafood expert. While he still enjoys the occasional grilled fish fillet, it's always with a discerning eye and careful preparation. And when new friends ask him about the fish they should avoid, he smiles and says, "Let me tell you what nearly hooked me, but didn't." His message is clear. When you're older, what you don't eat can be just as important as what you do. Would you like a short version of this story converted into a voiceover preview?